All right, let's talk Texas A&M Aggies. This is a team that's kind of slid under the radar as we get ready for the regular season. I think they're going to be a lot better than people think, although obviously the SEC and, of course, the SEC West is absolutely brutal. But that, of course, is coming up shortly before us. But the A&M has come out with some interesting news at a key position. We finally have some clarity at the quarterback position, and I think Aggies fans will really appreciate this development.
Yeah, Nick, as the season approaches, literally just this weekend, A&M fans are going to see this team take the field, and we're going to see what they are made of. So A&M fans, truly, last chance. Let us know in the comment section below, what do you predict the record for this season to be? We're excited about this season. We think it's going to be very, very good for Texas A&M, but let us know in the comment section below, what do you think the record for this team will be this season? We're excited to hear from you. But Nick, let's get on into it. What is going on at Texas A&M?
Yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and throw up the report. This was first reported by ESPN, again, talking about the quarterback position. All right, from the report, Jimbo Fisher announced Monday that sophomore Connor Wegman will be Texas A&M starting quarterback. Wegman beat out Max Johnson, the former LSU transfer who started 14 games for the Tigers and led the Aggies to wins over Miami and Arkansas before a hand injury against Mississippi State sidelined him for the rest of the season. Wegman, the number 27 overall in the 2022 ESPN 300, was the number one ranked pocket passer in the class and began last season as the third stringer behind Haynes King, who has since transferred to Georgia Tech, and of course Johnson. Wegman ended up starting the final four games, becoming the only FBS player with more than 120 passing attempts who did not throw an interception, completing 73 of 132 for 896 yards and 8 touchdowns. He completed 12 of 18 passes for 155 yards and 2 touchdowns in an upset of number 6 LSU to finish the season last year. All right, so this kind of comes as a late, but I don't think this is much of a big surprise. I think Wegman was clearly the front runner based on how he finished off last season. But I'm going to give a lot of credit here to Jimbo Fisher and probably Bobby Petrino as well. They did a great job with this young quarterback, allowing him to be pushed the entire offseason, not making it a coronation. I think that was the one concern I had, was that Wegman maybe would get, I don't want to say a big head, but maybe a little too confident. Because I think after the season ended, after they beat LSU, everyone's like, okay, this is the guy for the future right here. They didn't bring in a big transfer or anything like that to potentially challenge him. Obviously, Johnson's returning, but I didn't think he was really going to be a big challenge to Wegman anyway. But they did a great job saying, look, we're not going to announce. We're going to make it a true competition. They didn't give Wegman a coronation. They made him work for it. They made him grind. They made him earn it. I think that was a smart move by Jimbo Fisher and company for making sure they did that, handled it that way. And I think we're going to see the results come the regular season, because I think this Wegman kid, I mean, his physical tools, his quarterback ability, in terms of processing, accuracy, you name it, he's got it. I think he's going to be a stellar player for A&M come 2023. But Miles, I'm curious what your thoughts are. What do you think of Wegman, A&M, Jimbo Fisher, Petrino, everything going on with this A&M program right now?
I think that last thing you said, Petrino, that's the most intriguing thing to me. So we saw how good Wegman is. Petrino comes into the mix now. He gets a full season under this guy. They're working on this all offseason, getting the offense installed. I think this could be really, really interesting to see what Wegman can do, and as prolific of an offense as this is, because this is a guy, like we said in the article, coming in the number one pocket passer in the 2022 class. He has a lot of clout. He's got a lot of, tools. Famously enough, his first round, he's a first round projection per 24/7 Sports. They're saying this quarterback to potentially go in the first round. They say they give him comps to a guy like Dak Prescott, another really great college quarterback from Mississippi State. So this guy, very, very interesting. I think a full season of this guy could be great, because he comes in against South Carolina, that first game, kind of frazzled, kind of really, getting thrown into your first game like that. Not necessarily how you want to start your career, but he really rebounded quickly, in my opinion, Nick, coming out the next game and the next few games and just played lights out football. As they said, no interceptions, the only guy with 120 plus passing attempts for no interceptions. This guy did really good and he really impressed me. Now he just has even more tools, even more coaching, even more guidance to be even more successful. Because like you said, you can't let someone get too big of a head. You got to let them work for it. Let them think, someone's on your heels. That's how you get better. And to his credit, he fought through it. He did well, and he comes out on the other side. I think that's really exciting for A&M. Finally have some stability at the quarterback position after last year, because they had anything but that last year.
Well, and you brought up stability, and I think it's a great point because if you look at the SEC West specifically right now, there's a lot of instability, right? You look at Alabama, of course, who's their starting quarterback? They got a lot of issues there at quarterback. Switching over to the SEC East, you've got, of course, Georgia, new quarterback. Tennessee, obviously replacing Hendon Hooker. Who's their quarterback going to be? A lot of questions throughout basically the entire SEC. Ole Miss has some questions at quarterback. Mississippi State, no matter where you look, there's a lot of questions at quarterback. Who's going to be a new starter? Who's the guy that's going to step up? Here, A&M's got a guy, Wegman, who has some good experience under his belt. You pair him with Bobby Petrino, who is whatever you want to say about Petrino, there's a lot of things you can say about Bobby Petrino. The guy maximizes quarterback production at the collegiate level. He is phenomenal at that, full stop. He's an outstanding offensive coordinator, quarterback coach for college football. It's undeniable at this point. You pair Wegman, highly rated pocket passer, freshman season under his belt, offseason of competing, working with Petrino, kind of got a vibe of a breakout candidate, a guy who could kind of take over the quarterback, the number one quarterback in the SEC West. I think it's very possible. Look, I know a lot of people like Gene Daniels, kind of a dual threat guy, relies a lot on his legs. You got Wegman, who's obviously a more traditional pocket passer. I would not be surprised if you told me at the end of the 2023 regular season if Wegman was the best pocket passer in the SEC. I think there's a good chance he could be, especially when you bring Petrino into the fold. I know there's been a lot of concern and a lot of questions about A&M. Of course, last season was a total disappointment. But right now, with Wegman paired with Petrino, and they do have a lot of talent, I think this team could surprise a lot of people throughout this regular season. I think if I'm an Aggies fan right now, I'm feeling a little bit excited. Not extremely excited, but a little bit excited as we get ready for the regular season.